Good evening and welcome. You're watching the news track. I'm Rahul Kamal. On the show this evening, we're comparing the Congress and the BJP manifestos for the state of war in Karnataka. Which party has laid out a better plan for the future of this crucial battleground state? That's my top focus on the news track.
Congress vows Bajrang Dal ban. Links Hindu group to PFI. PM calls it insult to Bajrang Bali.
यह देश का दुर्भाग्य है कि कांग्रेस पार्टी को प्रभु श्री राम से भी तकलीफ होती थी और अब जय बजरंग बली बोलने वालों से भी तकलीफ हो रही है.
Manifesto war escalates. Big fight over Bajrangi. Top focus on news track.
Here's a look at the headlines I'm tracking tonight. BJP complains to the poll panel against Congress leader Bajrang Kharge for calling Prime Minister a Nalayak Beta. The Election Commission issues an advisory to all campaigners, advises restraint, says raise issue-based debates. No relief for Rahul Gandhi. Gujarat High Court reserves order on Rahul's plea against his conviction, refuses to grant interim protection to the ex-MP. Go First files for bankruptcy hours after it suspends all flights for the next 3 days. Says facing financial crunch because of non-supply of engines. It's the first bankruptcy in the Indian aviation sector. 24 hours after the BJP released its manifesto, the Congress also unveiled its list of poll promises. It has vowed a crackdown on the organization spreading hate, comparing the banned radical Islamic outfit, the PFI, to the Bajrang Dal. The BJP, led by none less than the Prime Minister, has hit out hard at the Congress, accusing the Congress of ignoring Lord Hanuman and his bhakts.
कांग्रेस पार्टी ने अपने मैनिफेस्टो में बजरंग बली को ताने में बंद करने का निर्णय किया है.
The Vishwa Hindu Parishad's youth wing Bajrang Dal becomes an election issue in Karnataka after the Congress proposes to ban the right-wing Hindu group in its election manifesto. The Grand Old Party has pledged to crack the whip on all organizations which promote enmity or hatred, likening Bajrang Dal to the banned Islamic outfit, the Popular Front of India.
Any organization, doesn't matter what religion, what background they're from, if they try to spread hate, if they indulge in violence, we will take stern action against them.
The Congress poll promise is now fodder for the BJP. Prime Minister Narendra Modi, campaigning in Vijayanagara, accused the Congress of planning to jail Hanuman Bhakts.
पहले प्रभु श्री राम को ताले में बंद किया और अब जय बजरंग बली बोलने वालों को ताले में बंद करने का संकल्प लिया है.
The BJP accused the Congress of appeasement politics.
Why Siddaramiah government has released 157 PFI workers? Why he has withdrawn case against PFI? Why you are doing alliance in Kerala with the Muslim League? So today the Congress manifesto, what has been released, looks like a manifesto of Muslim League government, of a probable Muslim League.
The VHP claimed the Congress and the PFI are hand in glove.
कांग्रेस और पीएफआई का जिस प्रकार गठबंधन रहा है, यह स्वाभाविक है. इन सब बातों के कारण से बजरंग दल कांग्रेस की आंखों की किरकिरी बना है.
While its promise to ban Bajrang Dal has sparked a row, it is the Congress's offer of freebies that is worrying the BJP. The party has announced 5 guarantees including 2,000 rupees monthly for women homemakers, 200 units of free electricity and 10 kilograms of food grains to every BPL family.
Manifesto, the Congress Party manifesto will be a manifesto of a change for Karnataka, for a development of Karnataka, the growth on Bengaluru and the two-tier cities. It is touching all the lives.
मैंने सुना है कर्नाटका में भी ये अपनी गारंटियों का फॉर्म भरवाने लगे हैं और अब तो जांच इस बात की होनी चाहिए कि झूठी गारंटी के फॉर्म को दिखाकर कांग्रेस कितनी रिश्वत ले रही है.
With the election manifestos out, the agendas of both the parties are out in the open. The BJP is banking on Hindutva and PM Modi's popularity to trump Congress guarantee of freebies. Bureau Report, India Today.
Has the Congress scored a self-goal in its manifesto by declaring that they want to ban the Bajrang Dal? I was looking at some of the cases against Bajrang Dal activists, and there have been charges, but there isn't enough concrete evidence of the kind that there would be against a terror outfit for there to be a ban at this stage. So instead of saying we'll probe into the role of all extremist organizations, they specifically mentioned the Bajrang Dal, which is the youth wing of the Vishwa Hindu Parishad, which is a part of the RSS, giving the BJP and other big guns in the saffron fold the opportunity to attack the Congress and to call it a Muslim party. Given how this election is placed at this moment and the fact that we're in the last week of campaigning, could this prove costly to the grand old party? To discuss this, I'm joined on this broadcast by Tejaswini Gowda, member of the Karnataka Legislative Council of the BJP, has been a former member of parliament. Aishwarya Mahadev is a spokesperson of the Congress. Syed Aslam is a spokesperson of the Janata Dal Secular. Sriraj Nair is a spokesperson of the Vishwa Hindu Parishad, which is the umbrella organization of the Bajrang Dal. I want to go across to Aishwarya Mahadev first, because the BJP so far on multiple issues wasn't finding something to latch on to in the manifesto, and you could have well avoided this. You've specifically mentioned the Bajrang Dal, giving the BJP and the Prime Minister the opportunity to now attack you as being a pro-Muslim, anti-Hindu party. Given how the campaign was shaping up so far, and given the fact that if you look at incidents of violence in Karnataka, there isn't that much in the public that's proven against the Bajrang Dal, has the grand old party Aishwarya scored a self-goal in this last leg of campaigning?
Good evening, Rahul. I just have two things to say. One, I'm going to read something out. We believe that law and the constitution is sacrosanct and cannot be violated by individuals and organizations like Bajrang Dal, PFI and others promoting enmity or hatred, whether amongst majority or minority communities. That is the statement that has been put out, one, verbatim. And second, when Pradhan Mantri Modi ji comes here, I come from the land where Hanuman was born. I come from the land where Anjaneya himself is worshipped, and because Anjanadri Betta is where he comes from. And today, for the Prime Minister to be equating a god to an organization which has seen instances of so much violence, the most recent being one of their most celebrated sort of celebrities in the Bajrang Dal, Puneet Kerehalli, having murdered somebody after having tasered them, and then that man died and he's been arrested. It is a shame that the Prime Minister wants to equate a god that is sacred to all of us to an organization. Rahul, the clarification is very clear for everybody. Any organization, irrespective of caste, faith or creed, that promotes any enmity and hatred and divide in society or tries to perpetuate violence, we will take action against.
No, but that's not what you're saying. I'm reading from your manifesto, Aishwarya. Let's just stick to the manifesto. You are saying,
I am reading from the manifesto as well.
Individuals and organizations like the Bajrang Dal, you name the Bajrang Dal first. You mentioned the PFI, which is already banned second, therefore you can't possibly ban it again. And others promoting enmity of hatred, which is fine. You could have just said any organization that promotes enmity and hatred, we will act against them in keeping with the law and the constitution, which cannot be violated, which is a perfectly kosher thing to say. It almost seems, by looking at this manifesto, that you are wanting to give the BJP an opportunity to turn this into a Hindu-Muslim kind of issue? Because the PFI is banned, the Bajrang Dal isn't. The question that will be asked to you is, where is enough evidence, body of evidence against the Bajrang Dal as an institution, not against some member of the Bajrang Dal, but against the Bajrang Dal as an organization, for the Bajrang Dal to be banned?
Across the state, the Dalit Sangharsha Samitis across the state, whether it was in Chikmagalur, whether it was in Koppa, whether it was in Chintamani, in Tumkur and Kolar, you're seeing several instances of organizations coming out and saying the Bajrang Dal is harassing us while even transporting cattle even for our own farms. They have filed complaints several times. You are seeing in Shimoga district how many cases have been there. But Rahul, the instance is not that. If there is one organization, it is one organization, fine. Maybe it will be 10 organizations promoting enmity. But the BJP here has latched on to this while always saying is any organization perpetuating violence. I can give you 15 instances.
No, but you're not saying any organization. You're naming a particular organization, making it seem as if this manifesto has an agenda against this particular organization, and you're not being able to answer on this show questions about the evidence against the Bajrang Dal which would require for it to be banned. Answer that question. Give me the evidence. Why would you want to ban the Bajrang Dal? You will take decisive action as per law, including imposing a ban on such organizations like the Bajrang Dal. Where is the evidence? Why will you ban them for?
So, Rahul, if you want to argue on the rhetoric of what like Bajrang Dal is versus Bajrang Dal itself, we can have a very long-drawn conversation about it. But the essence of what this point was, as the party has made very clear, is that any organizations, because look at the Puneet Kerehali case, which was the most recent that we've seen, where you tased somebody and you murdered somebody and they've been arrested and they are your celebrities in the Bajrang Dal. It was an instance of saying the state will not stand for any intolerance whatsoever, right? And we talk about the Bajrang Dal, there are ties to Dhruv Saxena, there are 100 different, proof that I can give you.
No, give us the proof. That's what I'm asking you. You're randomly saying 100 different proof. You're a smart person. Build a case on this broadcast. Convince the people who are watching that there is in law a case for the Bajrang Dal to be banned. Not one individual committing an act which may or may not be attributable to the organization, but build a case which you think is reasons for the Bajrang Dal to be banned. Like the PFI, the NIA investigated the organization for months at end, built a full case, after which action was taken for the Popular Front of India to be banned. Where is the evidence, the body of evidence which would allow for a ban which is not laughed at to be implemented by the next government of Karnataka, which is the promise that you're making, Aishwarya?
Thank you, Rahul, for believing I'm an adjudicatory or a legislative body here to sit and give you and build an entire case like the NIA for you. But I'm going to take the liberty to tell you this. I've told you what the Dalit Sangharsha Samiti has spoken about in Koppa, has spoken about in Chintamani, what has happened with Puneet Kerehali, what has happened to the Bajrang Dal president in Shimoga district himself, where he was caught basically with his sleazy videos all across and also harassing young students. What happened to the Bajrang Dal in Shimoga? But this is not the case about one organization. It is about all organizations like the Bajrang Dal that we are saying that perpetuate hate and divide.
No, you're saying that one guy is found with some ridiculous videos. That's no reason for the organization to be banned. You just said, Aishwarya Mahadev, on this show that you have hundreds of evidence, whatever that is. Even if I allow that phraseology, where is this hundreds of different pieces of evidence that you have? Lay them out.
If this is what you believe your defense is, where I have to sit and have a moot court with you, Rahul, then yes, please. I will pull out a document that if I can read out verbatim for you, you will have to give me 8 minutes to do it.
I'm giving you 8 minutes, do it. No, I'm giving you 8 minutes, do it.
I will read out.
Tell us where is the evidence. Okay, do it, I'm waiting. Tell us where's the evidence, Aishwarya.
Raghuvan Vaduvelu was caught on a sleazy video call in Shimoga. He is the well-known
sleazy video call and therefore ban the Bajrang Dal. One fellow sleazy video call, ban the Bajrang Dal. That's what you're saying. That's ridiculous.
The fact that an anchor on a national show is sitting here for piece by piece by piece, wonderful. I've told you 6-7 different instances.
Okay, go on. You asked for 8 minutes, I'm giving you 8 minutes. Aishwarya Mahadev, you asked for 8 minutes, I'm giving you 8 minutes. Your first minute was a sleazy video call, which is hardly any reason for the Bajrang Dal to be banned.
Rahul,
you have 7 more minutes, go on.
The point in the manifesto.
7 more minutes, go on. 7 more minutes, go on. Lay out the evidence. Aishwarya Mahadev, lay out the evidence. You've said you've got hundreds of pieces of evidence. I'm saying you asked for 7 minutes. Lay them out. Lay them out. You said you've got the evidence. You'll read it out. I'm waiting. I'm listening. Lay them out.
Fine. Done. there was a DSS protest against the Bajrang Dal in Jaipura, Kappa Taluk of Chikmagalur district, where the Bajrang Dal attacked students who said they would not go to the BJP convention. FIRs have been filed against Bajrang Dal members for tying up Assamese youth and tying them to them poles in Mudigere. Bajrang Dal has been constantly harassing women in the district of Shimoga, causing a law and order crisis. Farmer organizations across the state, especially the Dalit farmer organizations, have been protesting against the Bajrang Dal for basically demanding bribes or beating them up for transportation of cattle. But Rahul Kaval, I'm going to tell you this on your channel, that this is not about a case by case. This was the essence of what the Congress party is saying. And if you want me to make a case out of it, I will type it out and put it to you on an affidavit also. But the essence is, you have to admit...
No, the essence is that you're asking for banning of an organization because they have an ideology you don't like, because they may or may not have enough evidence against members of that organization for that organization itself to be banned. That's the problem. And now, this is what gives the Prime Minister and the BJP fodder, saying that you are basically doing a Muslim manifesto.
They're not talking about the issues. They're not talking about corruption. They're not talking about the wrongdoing. When you have a BJP government that
you could have spoken about it. You mentioned the Bajrang, which is why I said, is this a self-goal? Because you are the ones who raised this issue. You could have focused, as you have so far in the campaign, on corruption, anti-incumbency. Let me go across to Harish Bijur for a, you're tying yourself up in knots. You asked for 7 minutes, you finished much sooner than that. Harish Bijur, do you think the Congress has scored a self-goal here? They needn't have mentioned this. They could have stuck to the campaign in the way that they have during the course of the election, and they've done a reasonable job so far. Have they created an opening for the BJP by scoring the self-goal? Harish Bijur.
Okay, Rahul, I've read both the manifestos, the election manifestos. Hello?
Yeah.
Am I audible?
Yeah, I hear you well.
Well, Rahul, I have read both the manifestos, what was released yesterday, the BJP manifesto, and what was released today, which is that of the Congress. If you really look at it, I think the Congress manifesto has quite a bit of a preamble. And I think that preamble is where the trouble sits at this point of time. Because when you have a long preamble, there's plenty that can be picked by the opposition party and spoken about. I wouldn't call it a self-goal, but I would just say that, there's plenty written there, and there's plenty for the opposition to pick and talk about. But if you look at the BJP manifesto, for instance, it's quite crisp, and it doesn't go into such a big preamble. And I think, even that has politics. It's got real politics, real economics, real society, and real religion. Every manifesto has that, as does the Congress one at this point of time.
I remember when I met you in Bengaluru last week, this is what you were talking about, the Congress's ability to score self-goals, the Congress's ability to snatch defeat from the jaws of victory, the Congress's ability to create trouble for itself. If they just skipped this issue, they wouldn't have given the BJP the fodder to attack them with. They've just kind of gone and tied themselves up in knots where she's saying, I'll give you hundreds of pieces of evidence, and she stops after 3 or 4 accusations which aren't even proven in a court of law. Harish Bijur.
Well, I would put it this way, that I wouldn't give this many openings. It has given a handle, and a handle, whenever you give a handle, it will be picked up. And that's exactly what the BJP has done. But manifestos-wise, I've just done a study in 67 centers in Karnataka, trying to understand. I asked one of the questions. There were 40 questions. One of the questions is, how many of you do look at the manifesto of a political party? 6% in those 67 centers said they look at a manifesto. And out of that 6%, I asked, how many of you get swayed by a political manifesto? 1% of 6% said they get swayed out of a manifesto. So to an extent, much ado about nothing.
But the BJP has the opportunity to pick a small issue, make it much bigger than it actually is, and drive the point home again and again.
Absolutely.
And the Congress's ability then to beat that narrative, as you're saying quite correctly, they've created an opening. Now, how big is that opening? How much can you drive through that opening? That we'll see over the next several days. But they've created an opening of their own accord, an opening which, just in putting too many words out there in that manifesto, you could have well avoided and been smarter about. But Sriraj Nair, You just heard from the Congress spokesperson leveling allegations of some of your members watching sleazy videos, some Dalit organizations saying that these people are harassing women and Dalits, and that therefore the Bajrang Dal should be banned, and one particular member against whom there are charges of murder as well. All of this leads the Congress to say that there is reason for the Bajrang Dal to be equated with the Popular Front of India and for the Bajrang Dal to be banned.
Well, Rahul, you gave 8 long minutes to the respected spokesperson of Congress party, and she could not even finish, take even 1 minute. So this were all childish, baseless, fake allegations which are lying.
Aishwarya, just let him speak. Aishwarya, you spoke for a certain amount of time. Give Shiraj Nayak the opportunity to counter.
From long, we all know. Yeah. See, Rahul, the Congress has an anti-Hindu DNA which we all know. This is the same party which coined the terminology saffron terrorism, saffron terror, and they had to pay a price by losing one state after the another. And even now, for last 2 Lok Sabha elections, they have been routed. This is the same party which engaged lawyers so that Ram Temple does not come in existence. This is the same party which fired on sadhus. So the DNA of Congress party has always been anti-Hindu. That's for sure. And this is mere frustration. Elections are round the corner, and we have been unnecessarily dragged into politics. But since we have been dragged, we'll definitely counter and we'll answer. Now we have a spokesperson of JDS also here. It's a triangular fight between Congress, BJP and JDS, and they are knowing even the Congress is not going to get the Muslim votes. The Muslim votes are going to be shifted to JDS. Now this is the last, they're trying their last attempt so that they can lure some Muslims by seeking some attention by this kind of statements. But this is not going to work. The voters, the Hindu voters, are going to be more polarized. They're going to be more awakened. So this is childish. And
okay, but Tejaswini Gowda, the strongest defense that Aishwarya Mahadev had is that the Congress hasn't really called for a ban on the Bajrang Dal. The Congress in the manifesto says, we believe the law and constitution is sacrosanct and cannot be violated by individuals and organizations like the Bajrang Dal and the PFI or anybody else promoting enmity or hatred, whether among majority or among minority communities. In a separate line, it says we will take decisive action as per law, including imposing a ban on any such organization. So you are taking as a given in the attack the BJP is mounting, that if the Congress were to come to power, they would ban the Bajrang Dal. The Congress is saying they will implement the law and the constitution, which is sacrosanct, and take action as per law. They haven't really said what you're saying they have in the manifesto.
Rahul, look at their history. Why people of Karnataka and why people of India rejected Congress party, not even to be, they were able to sit in the opposition, number one. Number two, Karnataka is the land of Kuvempu, who got the first Ganapita award for our Kannada literature. That is for his monumental work, Sri Ramayana Darshanam, in which he such a way he explained every role. Like, God Hanuman is the symbol of dedication towards the Lord Ram. Lord Ram will be there on this earth till as long as Surya and Chandra will be there, moon and sun will be there in the universe. As long as this universe will be there, our faith, nobody can erase our faith. And this is the only land, India is the only motherland for the Hindus. Nowhere you can see a piece of land, because numerous countries were there for the Muslims and Christians. But show me any another piece of land. We had Nepal, but that too also been taken away, number one. Number two, last 800 years when the Muslims ruled us, these people celebrated their history. These people got inspiration from them. Zakir Naik is their hero, but they don't accept any Hindu preacher, any Hindu saint, any Hindu Raja. Even for that matter, today Modi ji visited Vijayanagara dynasty, which was barbarically ended by this Bahmani Raj. They never condemned it. And they see pride in their insult towards the Hindu community. And today, this is the venom. Why they were spitting so much of venom against the Hindus? It is the way of life. We are very proud of, okay, Kishkinda. where the Lord Hanuman, also many of the ethnic community, these tribals, equate their life with the Lord Hanumanji. None other than their star campaigner, Sharad Kumarji, that hat-trick hero, is campaigning for them. He acted in the movie called Bajrangi. Bajrangi is the ultimate name for the Lord Hanuman.
These which the Congress hasn't really said. You're saying Zakir Naik is the hero. Where has anybody in the Congress said Zakir Naik is the hero? You've used that opportunity to now say many more things than the Congress actually meant to say.
When PFI activities flourished, when Karnataka became, whenever Congress in the power, this land became heaven for their activities. Can we allow our national integrity to weaken? Can we allow terrorists to flourish in my state? You see how our coastal is vulnerable to these activities. How this Malnad, how this Sahyadri, how Kerala, from Kerala, how our youth's been, all this drug menace in the our Vidya Kashi, Manipal. You have seen all these days.
No, you said that the Congress thinks Zakir Naik is a hero. I'm asking you, who in the Congress has ever said Zakir Naik is the hero?
Why they have not banned the PFI? Let me ask this question. Because today we ban, it will backfire them. Otherwise they have appeasement. This is
Rahul, can I come in now?
Okay, just one second. I want to go across to Syed Aslam. Okay, fade us down, please. I want to go across to Syed Aslam of the Janata Dal Secular. We've heard from the Congress and the BJP. Where does the JDS come out on the Congress's claim that they will ban the Bajrang Dal if it's found to violate the law? If they come to power, they intend to take action, and they think the Bajrang Dal and the PFI are similar and the same, or two sides of the same coin.
Well, Rahul, we strongly believe in JDS that any fascist force or any organization which creates hatred in the society has to be banned, and whichever organization creates communal hatred definitely.
I'm asking you specifically about the Bajrang Dal. Is the Bajrang Dal a fascist organization that needs to be banned?
It is for the Congress to answer.
Rahul, this is a democratic country, largest democracy on earth.
Ma'am, you need to allow us to speak.
Let Syed Aslam speak. I know he comes from a smaller party, but give him some time to speak.
No, I mean, that only the Kannadigas would decide whether we are smaller or we are going to take the reins of power.
Okay.
Rahul, I just want to tell, the BJP is trying a last-ditch effort to spin the narrative. It is the BJP which is trying to give a spin to this narrative, and I think it's their last-ditch attempt to polarize the issue. The BJP is using the diversity tactics. They are running away from the actual issue.
No, but all this may be true, but the Congress bowled this. That may be true, but the Congress gave them the opportunity.
Rahul, Rahul, it is not about Congress or BJP. It is about the agenda of people. It is about what the Kannadigas want.
No, but you haven't answered the question. Do you believe that the Bajrang Dal should be banned or not, Syed Aslam? It's a very straight yes or no answer. Is there reason for the Bajrang Dal to be banned?
Organization which is any fascist organization or any organization which creates communal hatred has
That's a rhetorical response to a straight question. That's a rhetorical response to a straight question. Should the Bajrang Dal be banned or not? Just yes or no. Where does the JDS come out on this?
It is for the investigating agencies and the law enforcing agencies to decide that. One political party cannot sit and decide who is right and who is wrong. The fascist forces and the organizations which divide on the basis of communal hatred has to be banned. The BJP is running away from the actual issues. They are running away from the issues of anti-incumbency. They are running away from the issues of development. They are running away issues from price rise and inflation. They have to talk about these issues. They have to talk about agriculture. They have to talk about the irrigational projects. They are actually running away from the core issues. The BJP has fallen flat on all of these issues. They're using the diversity tactics. They have to talk about price rise and inflation, which they're running away.
This is an election campaign. The BJP will talk about what they think is their strong suite, right? They won't talk about issues which they think that they would be on a dicey wicket on. And therefore, Harish Bijur, it comes back to the point. I think the JDS is actually being quite smart. They're saying, let the law enforcement agencies investigate. If they find evidence, action will be taken against all fascist organizations. There's nothing unreasonable in what they're saying. The Congress just worded this in a manner that Aishwarya Mahadev is now on the receiving end and she can't take up the 8 minutes that she asked for because there isn't 8 minutes of allegations to fill up against the Bajrang Dal. And therefore, the JDS is actually being smarter. They know that the ball is swinging outside on the pitch of the Chinnaswamy. They're just letting it go. He's not putting his bat out and getting caught out by the BJP in slips. Harish?
Is that for me?
It is for you, Mr. Bijul.
Yeah. Okay. Let me put it this way. When you out of lines, a lot can be read between the lines. And that is exactly what's happening now. This is meant to be a manifesto, and it could be kept business-like, as it should be, but it hasn't been kept business-like. And I think that is where the worry lies. And I think now we have dropped to a lowest common denominator debate in terms of, talking about religions, etc. I think religion must be an issue which governs all of us. I mean, it is the umbrella under which all of us live. But I think real politics, real economics, and real society is what we need to be discussing. And I think this is where, when you write too many lines, you'll be reading between the lines. Yeah. And the opposition party, the ruling party in Karnataka, the BJP, has certainly got a handle by reading between the lines of the Congress manifesto.
Respond to Harish Bijul. Too many wordsmiths trying to be too clever by half, writing too many lines and too many words, allowing for the BJP to read between the lines and attack you now in this last phase of campaign. All of it could well have been avoided.
Is that for me?
Yes, ma'am. You're the one who wants to man the Bajrang Dal. It is for you, absolutely.
Rahul, it's very simple. Today, the BJP believes they have us cornered. We do not believe so, because we think the issues on the ground, the issues of corruption, the issues of infrastructure not being there for the people of my state are much larger. You might also believe that this is something that's going to put the Congress on the back foot. I absolutely do not believe so. I think in turn the Prime Minister himself has insulted Lord Hanuman in this process by equating them to one organization. And third, Rahul, I may not be an organization or an institution that it can investigate absolutely everything. But the essence is still going to stand on the idea that any organization of any denomination and any faith whatsoever that perpetuates violence, and it's not a quantitative thing. Even if one case of violence or one case of any sort of societal discord or harmony comes up, that is enough of a case to build for some action to be taken against these organizations. Tejaswini Gowda spoke about Kuwempu. The essence of our manifesto today is based on Kuwempu's Sarva Jananga de Shantiya Tota, which means Karnataka is the land for peaceful coexistence and harmony for all. That is the essence of why our entire manifesto is built on it. One name Shaman and Matarta Din Adadmel Matari Bekare. But what we think today is that Kumblikai Kalla Hegal Mutkon Nodkonda Andange. The minute we talk about banning organizations that create communal disharmony, it is shameful that a Prime Minister of a country, ma'am.
Okay, now Tejaswini Gowda, respond to this charge that if you hear the speeches of the BJP leaders, they're more about the Prime Minister, they're more about central issues, they're not so much about the track record of your government. Ultimately, you are the ones in power. The Congress is in opposition. You're making, if there's so much time and energy is being spent on issues like Bajrangis and the Bajrang Dal, it's also because maybe you don't have much to say about your own track record.
Rahul, it's a way around. Actually, Karnataka is the state which always ensured more MP seats to central BJP. Even when UPA came to power in 2004, when Vajpayee ji lost, Congress got, when UPA came to power, Congress got only 6 seats from Karnataka, 18 seats BJP won, number one. Number two, my state is the best performed state. Today, Karnataka resolved ourselves, to contribute $1 trillion development to when Modi ji is dreaming to make India a 5 trillion economy. Karnataka, my Chief Minister under Bommai ji, we resolved to make it $1 trillion. Every track record is before you. I don't have much time. In infrastructure, in investment, it is a wonderful state with law and order. My people are very happy. You see, even Muslims were more happy in India, particularly in Karnataka, than Pakistan and Bangladesh. This is for your, record, I'm saying. And when Kuwempu, my sister is mentioning about Kuwempu, Kuwempu said, Bharata Jananiya Tanujate Jai Hai Karnataka Mate, mean our Nadagite. In fact, nationalism is first, nation is first. Karnataka will be in the federal system. Karnataka always will follow the mother earth. And Bajrangi were not, they were the social reformers. Yes, they do fight when people are, waging love jihad against our innocent sisters. They will protect our cows, when they will save the cows from the slaughters. When they will stop.
So ultimately, how big an issue this becomes is really something that voters in Karnataka have to decide. What we've been stressing, and if you've been watching our show again, over the last several weeks, the Congress is up against a well-oiled machine, arguably the most formidable election machine modern India has seen. You give them a small opportunity, they'll make it much bigger. And what happened today was a self-goal of sorts, where they could have just left this, as Harish Bijur says, too many clever people trying to be too clever by half, putting lines which create an opportunity, read between the lines, attack them and make it into something bigger than originally intended. So far the Congress has had many days when they've actually won the battle of the narrative in the battlefield of Karnataka. Today just wasn't one of those. And now you'll see a lot more of this. They've given a handle, an opportunity. Let's see what happens between now and the 8th. I want to thank Tejaswini Gowda, Aishwarya Mahadev, Sayyad Aslam, Shriraj Nair, Harish Bijur for joining us. Aishwarya Mahadev has promised to send us an affidavit where she'll list out all the charges which she believes are reason for the Bajrang Dal to be banned. I'll discuss it with her next time she comes on the show if she does send such an affidavit. So Aishwarya, we will be looking out for the document that you do send, that you're compiling, that you said at least you will. Now whether that happens or not, I'll tell you next time we meet. NCP Supremo Sharad Pawar triggered a massive political storm by announcing that he'll be resigning as the party chief. Netas and party workers were in shock. They started crying. Workers went on a hunger strike. After a day-long drama, Pawar has finally said he will rethink his decision.
Grand old man of Indian politics. Four-time Maharashtra Chief Minister Sharad Pawar sent ripples after resigning as NCP chief, a party he helmed after being expelled from the Congress in 1999 for opposing Sonia Gandhi's candidature for PM post over her Italian origin, in a move that nobody foresaw.
जनतेचं प्रेम, सरकारचं प्रेम, त्यांचा विश्वास हाच माझा श्वास आहे. यापुढे आपणापासून कोणतीही हरकत नाही. मी आपणासमोर होतो आहे आणि शेवटच्या श्वासपर्यंत जाईन एवढंच या ठिकाणी सांगतो आणि आपली रजा घेतो.
The 82-year-old dropped the bombshell flanked by his wife Pratibha and nephew Ajit Pawar at the launch of his autobiography in Mumbai. The announcement came as a blow to reduce his party colleagues to tears. They threatened not to leave the venue unless he rescinded his decision. Senior NCP netas got emotional when Pawar announced his resignation.
त्यांनी त्यांच्या जे काही इथे आता सूचना त्यांनी केली आहे त्याला वापस घ्यावा, मागे घ्यावा आणि आपल्या सगळ्यांच्या भावनांचा आदर करून या पक्षाची म्हणजे जरूरत सुद्धा आहे. या देशाला, महाराष्ट्राला जरूरत आहे की शरद पवारांचा नेतृत्व आपल्याला लाभलं पाहिजे.
Hundreds of NCP workers staged a protest, threatening a hunger strike and demanding their leader return to the helm. Nephew Ajit Pawar, however, consoled the distraught NCP workers and said that the generational shift in the party has Pawar Senior's blessings, adding that Sharad Pawar will remain the head of NCP family.
कमिटी म्हणजे काय कुठली बाहेरचे लोक नाहीये, आपले परिवारच आहे. आपला राष्ट्रवादी काँग्रेस पार्टी परिवारातले सन्माननीय सदस्य सगळे बसतील. आम्ही पण काही दुसरे बाहेरचे नाहीये.
Hours after the shocking announcement, NCP leaders reached Pawar's residence. After a closed-door meeting of top netas, the veteran politician could reconsider his decision.
कार्यकर्त्यांनी सांगितलेलं सगळं ऐकून घेतलेलं आहे. मला त्याच्याबद्दल विचार करण्याच्या करता 2 ते 3 दिवस द्या. मी तो विचार 2 ते 3 दिवसामध्ये करतो आणि नंतर माझी भूमिका स्पष्ट त्या ठिकाणी सांगतो.
Agadi allies Congress and Sena UBT offered their backing for NCP and added that the step won't impact opposition Agadi.
आज उन्हें किस वजह से इस्तीफा दिया ये बताना मुश्किल है, लेकिन इसमें एमयूए को कोई फर्क नहीं पड़ेगा. जो भी राष्ट्रवादी के जो उनके पार्टी के अंतर्गत जो भी डिसाइड होगा उसके अंतर्गत जो भी अध्यक्ष बनेंगे वो एमयूए के साथ रहेंगे, ये हमारी उम्मीद है.
माननीय शरद पवार असल्यामुळे इतकंच सांगेल की देशाला आणि महाराष्ट्राला त्यांच्या नेतृत्वाची आणि मार्गदर्शनाची गरज आहे. इतके वर्ष त्यांनी हे नेतृत्व या राज्याला देशाला दिलं आणि ते यापुढे देत राहतील असं मी त्यांचं विधान आहे.
Pawar's big move comes amid buzz around his nephew Ajit cozying up to the BJP.
देखिए, ये उनका व्यक्तिगत फैसला है और राष्ट्रवादी कांग्रेस का एक आंतरिक मामला है और इस समय उसके ऊपर चर्चाएं भी चल रही है, मंथन भी चल रहा है और पार्टी किस निर्णय तक जा रही है इस बारे में हमें कोई अंदेशा भी नहीं है. हम परिस्थिति पर नजर रखे हैं, उचित समय पर इस पर बोलेंगे.
It puts a question mark on NCP leadership and plans for 2024 general polls. With Ritvik Bhalekar in Mumbai, Bureau Report, India Today.